Here is an explanation for the answer to final exam. Question number 24, found on pages 238 and 239 of Everyday Math Demystified. It deals with the same stove Y and furnace X that we talked about in question number 23. We learned that stove Y produces 2/5 as much power output in terms of British thermal units per hour as furnace X does. Remember the distinction now between British thermal units, which measure energy, and British thermal units per hour, which represent power output. The amount of heat power output, or the intensity of the heat that a furnace or a stove can produce, is expressed in British thermal units per hour. The total amount of heat energy in a given amount of time is in British thermal units. So you may see a furnace or a stove advertised as having a certain number of British thermal units. Well, really, if they say that this thing produces 32,000 units, British thermal units, they're really talking about British thermal units per hour. That's not always made clear in the advertisements, just for your edification and enlightenment. But getting back to the actual situation here, the question asks us what percentage of the gas furnace's output, that is X, does the wood stove, that is Y, provide? In other words, what percentage of 5 is 2? Well, in order to figure that out, all you got to do is divide 2 by 5 and then convert it to decimal form. Well, in decimal form, 2/5 equals 0.4. And then to get a percentage, you multiply by 100. So that's 40%. And that is choice A. Another way we can look at this is a good type of situation to use a pie graph or a pie chart for. If furnace X produces an amount of energy that's equivalent to the whole pie here, and we divide that pie, not PI, but PIE. If we divide this whole pie like the pie you can eat, a pizza pie, okay? A blueberry pie. That is my favorite, blueberry. I also like rhubarb pie. There's a certain radio show on National Public Radio where they sing songs about rhubarb pie. Every cotton picking episode, you know what I'm talking about if you've heard it. Divide the pie up into 5 pieces. Furnace X, 100% of the pie. Stove Y is 2/5 of the pie, okay? Like, say, these 2/5 right here. This stove Y, 2/5 of the pie, or 40%. It kind of looks, you can kind of see visually, it gives you some reinforcement, doesn't it? 40%. So again, the correct answer to this question number 24, after all this digression and a little bit of supplemental instruction for your benefit, is A.